calling. Gotta go, gotta go. Ah! Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Are you kidding me? Desperate times. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Flippin' Fridays. Now, we are going to be working on tile this week. And as you can tell, it's kind of dark in the house because, well, it's dark and dreary outside and it's raining. Plus it's cold, but not cold enough to snow. But anyways, let's head on into the bathroom and check out what we got to do. Here we are in the bathroom. We're going to be tiling the tub surround / shower all the way from the tub up to the ceiling. Probably from about like right here-ish to the wall, and then same thing here is going to be from the corner to the wall. And the first thing we got to do, we're going to install the metal trim pieces right here and right here as well. So I'm going to go do that really quick before we start tiling the wall. I have a center line marked right here, so we're going to start with the center tile, work our way to the wall, so this way the tiles are going to be centered on this wall and they'll look good this way. And the side ones, when I have to cut them, they're going to match equally on both sides. Now, unfortunately, this is not centered, but that's okay because I'm thinking of, I'll see what happens. I'm going to play with this, but first I'm going to tile the whole wall, and then we're going to do the sides. So let me go install these things, the trim pieces first, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, so I just finished putting in this one over here. This one is in as well, and all I do is I'll hold the level along it, and I'm gonna staple it into the wall as I'm putting it in with the, like, holding it level while stapling it in. And this way I know this piece is gonna be level, so when I'm putting the tile up to it, the tile will be level as well. And I'll double check it while I'm doing it to make sure it stays plumb. So now we're going to go mix up some mortar and start throwing tile on this wall right here, and we'll see how far we can get today. Alright, so I just did 3 rows here. I'm going to let it dry up a little bit because I don't want to put too much weight on top of all the tiles and have the bottom end buckle out and basically it all just come off. So I'm going to wait a little bit. I used up most of all the mortar that I could, so this way it's all used up and I don't have to worry about it sitting and remixing it. But I will put some of the liquid in here just to kind of keep it a little moist and not dry out while it's in the bucket. But I'll let this dry for a little bit before we start the mosaics here, because we are going to do a run right about here and then do the tile the rest of the way up. And this way the mosaic will kind of, it's not halfway, but it's going to be where most people are going to be looking at it and seeing it. So this way we'll do this. We're going to only do 6 inches of it. So we'll let this cure for a little bit. I'm gonna go start cutting these guys in half, and measure them out along here so I can start putting them up and probably start mixing up some more grout. This way we can move right along and Alright, so we just finished up the mosaic row right here. Now the next row of tiles will be the regular 12 by 12 that I've been working with. Now, I could center the next tile like this. However, it's going to match the row previously. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do it where it's the center line is that grout line that's going to match with this one. Then the center tile. And then this is going to be its next row, but I got to notch this tile out. Same thing with this tile that's going to go here, notch it out. So I'm going to mark that notch right now, cut out my wet tile saw, start mortaring all this up. So I just finished past the shower, toiletry, cubby thing, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to do the rest of this off camera. Simple, it's just laying the tiles and then cutting the side ones to fit, and then the top row most likely will have to get cut. So when I come back, I'm going to start on this side over here once I have that side finished, and then down here will be a little tricky because there's a curve right here, but that's all right. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. So we'll end up starting right here and going that way. But first, let me go finish all this up, and I will see you guys in about a second. For me, it'll probably be like an hour or so. All right, everyone. So I said I was gonna leave you off yesterday and come back yesterday. It's actually the next day. Did not pick up the camera because I ended up doing this wall section up to the mosaic here. And after I did these two rows above the mosaic, I decided I was going to stop because it started pushing on the mosaic a little bit too much and it was still malleable. So I wanted to let that cure overnight. Same thing with this. I wanted the mosaic to at least cure before I start doing tiles above the mosaic. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this side up to the mosaic, and while that's curing there, I'm going to finish this back wall and then start on this wall above the mosaic. By the time I'm done with this, hopefully this is going to be cured enough where I can continue above the mosaic and it's not going to move it too much. Now, I mentioned in my last video that the drywall doesn't have to be completely perfect. It can be a little bit rough because when you're doing tile, you just want it to be smooth and at least flat. And that's what I have. When I go and put the mortar on, I'm smearing it on and I'm leveling it out with that as much as I can. And then when I put the tile on, again, I'm leveling it tile to tile as I'm doing it. So the wall doesn't have to be completely perfect because it's not a finished product. But when you go and do drywall patch on like a normal wall, this I still have to sand down, stuff like that. That's gonna have to be perfectly smooth because that will be shown after I paint it and through the paint basically, and if it's not, if I leave it like this, people will see it. So let me go mix up a batch of mortar, drill a hole in a tile for this guy right here, and continue with this wall up to the mosaic. And then once we got all this done, we'll have to work on that. Alright, so for this piece, what I did, I just took it to my wet tile saw, notched it here, notched it right here, and then scored it on my tile breaker, just right in this section, and then broke it off. This way it's not a circle, but it doesn't need to be. So this way I'm going to get pretty much exactly what I need. It was the simplest way of trying not to drill it and mark this, mark that, just a couple marks. Throw it on the wet tile saw, then score it, break it, place it. Alright, I'm going to continue this off camera. You guys have seen enough me putting up tile most likely, so let me continue off camera, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, so I just finished with the nook here. As you can tell, this wall is completely done and this wall is completely done. Now, as far as this wall, I'm going to leave it till tomorrow because these tiles have not fully set yet. They're almost set, but I don't feel comfortable setting tile on top of it just yet, and I don't want to risk them buckling or falling or whatever. So I'm going to wait to do this side tomorrow, because after I finish this up, this shouldn't take me too long. I'm going to start on the floor. So I will see you guys tomorrow in just a second. Alright, so it is the next day. Just finished up this wall right here. Now, as far as these bottom sections go, I'm going to wait to do those until I have the floor tile down and in, because this way I can have this tile sit on top of the floor tile and I know pretty much exactly how I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to wait to do that until I have the floor tile in. Now, as far as floor tile goes, I did mention I had to go thinner with the plywood, so I ended up going 3/8. This way the tile is going to be as flush as possible height-wise with the floor here. Don't worry about the floor because this is going to get refinished. But I did do brand new plywood. But now we're going to start installing the floor tile. Pretty much the same concept as installing the tile on the wall, but it's a little bit easier because it's on the floor, not on the wall, so it's not going to be falling on you. So let me do that right quick and I'll be right back with you guys. And I'll probably start off showing you a little bit of the floor tile, but then the rest of it I'll probably just do off camera. Alright, I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I just finished putting in all the tiles on the floor and those tiles right there on the bottom. I don't want to go in there because tiles are still kind of drying, but you can see this one over here. Yes, I have it duct taped just so it doesn't fall down or anything, but it's stuck on there pretty good, so it shouldn't fall, but duct tape is just precautionary. As you can see, I have all this done. This whole wall is done, including this one all the way down. Something that I noticed after I finished putting in all the mosaics, if you pay attention, they're all gray or tan or white, except for this one. This one right here is a dark gray. It's like it got wet and never dried or something like that. I don't know. But you can see the little nook over there. Yeah, this is how I'm like in here without being in here. Shower is cut out around there, cut around down there. Once all the finishing touches go on, you won't even notice the cut marks. Next thing to do is grout, but grout is simple, but if anything I can throw that in next week's video. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a dislike, but let me know what I can improve on for next video. And as always, guys, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you later. Bye.